Hi, my name is Dermot Farrell and this is Heal Body, Mind and Spirit, and today we're going to talk about health and digestion and why digestion is terribly important to health, and we'll cover a couple of things which will actually help improve the digestive process, and in the process of doing this will actually enhance your health. Okay, in this video we're going to take a quick look at the digestive process and why it is so important for your health. I'm going to put a part 2 to this as well. This is part 1. Part 2 is just going to be a PowerPoint presentation where we actually have a look at the digestive system. So, digestion and health, why is it so important and what's it all about? Okay, basically your health is very much tied up into your digestive system, and we're coming at this from a kind of a cross between the Western approach and the Eastern approach. From an Eastern approach, my background being Chinese medicine, an Eastern approach, we have what's called the triple burner. Okay, the lower burner, the middle burner, and the upper burner. So it's different parts of the body. So lower burner, stomach and intestines. Middle burner, you're getting into the kidneys, and the upper burner, you're getting into the respiratory system. So these are three sort of dynamics that are at work regarding your health. So the lower burner, which is basically the stomach and intestines, it's a foundation of health from an Eastern point of view. Each are very important in their own way, as it happens. And also, even with luck, when people die, they tend to die because of weaknesses in one of those or more of those areas. Now, from a Western point of view, digestion takes place within the intestines. So there's a couple of things I want to get across there very quickly. We tend to think of digestion as the stomach. Actually, I'll go in more detail on this in video 2. Digestion, actually pre-digestion is your stomach, and actual digestion is in the small intestines mainly. You have large intestines, small, mainly the small intestines. Now, why is this digestive process so important for health? I'm not just talking about digestive health, I'm talking about your overall health and well-being. The reason why it's so important is that most forms of ill health are actually created by nutritional deficiency, because people are not absorbing the nutrients into their body that they need for regeneration of the cells, because every tissue in the body consists of molecules, which consist of cells, and we have to have a healthy cell. So those healthy cells, when your blood flows around your body, the blood puts nutrients into the cells and takes out the rubbish out of the cell. So on one level, your blood is like a delivery boy delivering the groceries. On another level, your blood is like the garbage guy taking away the garbage. But if you're not putting the nutrients in, you can't get the nutrients out. And it's an interesting fact of modern life that many people are obese yet undernourished compared to people 50, 60 years ago. 50, 60 years ago, there was very little in the way of chemical fertilizers and so on and so forth. So food was basically all organic. That meant that the food, even though people are eating a lot less, people eat a lot more food these days, the food that people were eating was far more nutritious. Now, it's very difficult to do much about the state of farming and the chemicals in the environment. You can try and eat organic food as best you can, but even then it's questionable to what degree is that food organic. Unless you grow it yourself, you don't really know, or you can actually physically visit the farm yourself where you're buying the food. But one thing you can do is you can help your digestive process. So for a lot of us, we're not digesting enough food. Food's getting stuck in the intestines. It's not being digested properly, and this is causing a lot of health problems. So I can't overemphasize this enough. If you have I'm going to say a strong stomach, because the old phrase, if you have a strong stomach, you'll never be ill. Actually, if you have a strong stomach and intestinal system, you'll never be ill. There's a great truth in it. From my experience as a traditional Chinese medical practitioner, I've noticed over the years that if the person is strong in this lower burner, as it were, if they're strong in their stomach and the intestines, they don't seem to get ill. It's very rare for them to get ill, because they're getting all the nutrients that they require, and everything else is nurtured. That's from a Western point of view. From an Eastern point of view, they're getting all the subtle energies. The process is a process of energy absorption, and that's kicking off because of what's happening down in the lower burner. So if you want to be healthy, look after your stomach and look after your intestines. What about tactics or strategies for looking after your stomach or looking after your intestines? Okay, the first thing I say is water. I have a video which is water therapy. It's the simplest thing in the world you can do is drink water. In the mornings, ideally, drink a gallon of water. Okay, thereabouts. US gallons, say 3-4 liters. You can drink that slowly over half an hour. Personally, what I've adjusted to and I found to be just as effective, more relaxing, is to just drink 1 liter quickly. Now you could take 700 milliliters, you could take 1.2, 1.3, whatever feels comfortable for you. I wouldn't really advise the gallon of water thing, because if you drink it too quickly you could dilute the blood and cause health problems. But definitely a couple of times a day, or at least once a day, take a good amount of water. Don't do it just 10 minutes before you're going to go out. You're probably going to urinate a couple of times in the next hour. You might defecate as well. So water therapy, just keep moving that stuff through the intestines. That's a very important thing you can do for health. Another important thing you can do for health is to chew your food properly. The Hatha yogis believe in chewing the food, I think it's 44 times if my memory serves me correct. They really believe in chewing the food properly. Definitely chew the food a lot, especially if it's a chewy kind of food. Things like meat, for instance, red meat can sit in the intestines for a couple of days before it's fully digested, so chew it well. Another thing you can do, if you for digestion as well, is in the morning you can take lemon water, which kicks off the digestive processes. It releases enzymes. Enzymes are required to break down the food, so that's another thing you can do. From an allopathic point of view, if you're eating a very heavy meal, you could always take some enzymes. You can buy some enzymes and take some enzymes. That's another option you can do. Generally have a healthy diet with enough fiber. Fiber is probably one of those forgotten things that people don't realize. We need fiber to process food, because our body can't really process fiber, so it has to throw it out. And that's basically fiber, or otherwise known as roughage. That's what actually gets the feces and stuff moving out of the body. Another thing that we can do to help our health, as well as drinking water and so on, is to vary the amount of times that we eat in a given period. So we have a tendency these days of eating too much. It's good sometimes to give your body a little bit of an intermittent fast. That doesn't mean you have to intermittent fast, but just that maybe you give yourself 12 hours without a meal, or 16 hours without a meal. Do it once a week, twice a week, just to clear everything out. Drink plenty of water. You can drink green tea as well. It's a great antioxidant. So you'll actually find, if you try that, if you 1 or 2 days a week, this is a great way of losing weight as well. I'm not saying go crazy about it, but just make sure that that you're giving your body a bit of a rest. It's a really good idea. Another strategy you can try is not to eat too late in the evening. Now I know that can be difficult depending upon your work-life balance, but most people do better eating earlier. Me personally, I don't really eat much past 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. It varies from person to person, but again, it makes logical sense. From a Chinese medical point of view, for example, the liver energy will stop working around 10 o'clock, and for a lot of people, the digestive system stops late in the evening. So if you go off and eat a huge meal late in the evening, there's a good chance that the digestive processes won't work, especially if you have a big meal and then lie down in bed immediately afterwards. That food is just sitting there. The next day you're going to wake up hungry, because there's no digestion is taking place. You're actually starving. You end up eating more food, and guess what? You've now got a blockage of food in the intestines. You're actually hungry because you're not getting any nutrients. We've got a big bunch of food in your intestines that are going to make you fat. One thing you can do if you happen to eat late in the evening is maybe go for a walk, 15-20 minute stroll, just getting the digestive system moving again. It can be very good. Another tactic you can try is Hatha Yoga. One of the famous Hatha Yoga postures is Uddiyana Bandha, where you suck the intestines up, the stomach in towards your spine. I'll leave a link below because I have a video on that as well. That's a very good technique, and there's a few variations on that. So that's just a few ideas I'm just throwing out which can help you, but the key thing is just to appreciate and realize that if you're concerned about your health and you want to improve your health, and you want to kind of have an insurance policy in your health, one of the best things that you can do is look after the digestive process. There's so many ways of doing it. There's no one way of doing it. But I mean, I suppose the takeaways in this video is not to overstrain the digestive system with massive amounts of food. Give yourself a break now and again. Drink water. Eat fiber. Don't eat loads of food late at night. If you do, go for a bit of a walk for a few minutes, and think about doing things like, as I said, use some yoga exercises and other exercises, energetic exercises that can help as well. But it's really, looking after yourself, being sensible, and keeping that system strong will really guarantee your health to a great degree. It's a great health preventative, and for people who maybe are ill, it's a great way to strengthen that system, because you need to get all the nutrients into your body that you can in order to deal with whatever health condition you're dealing with. Okay, so remember that the digestive system, the stomach and the intestines are the core to the foundation to your health and your vitality, and it's something we do every day. We all eat and we forget about it, but look after it. It's important. Okay, like and subscribe if you can. Appreciate you dropping by, and have a great day.